Welcome to our first installment of Meet Your Potential 2012 GOP Candidate. First up, as you can tell, Congresswoman Michele Bachmann. Now, to prepare you for her candidacy, which reportedly is going to kick off in June, we've got a primer on what to expect. As the founder of the Tea Party caucus, she's got to come out against any and all tax increases, a point she made clear on the Today Show this morning.
Is raising taxes on the table?
I don't think it should be on the table because tax rates are high enough already.
I'm not sure she can close her eyes. Tax rates are too high. All right, we just showed you, of course, a little while ago that tax rates are near all-time lows, but that would be facts. But Bachmann's true radicalism really shines when it comes to social issues. Her extreme views were on full display this week in Iowa at a speech she gave to the social conservative group Family Leader. By the way, that gets under my skin. Family apparently now means anti-gay in Washington. Why is that family values? All right, but back to Bachmann. She's so opposed to gay marriage, she wants to prevent the U.S. court system from even considering legalizing it.
Something else that we can do to reinforce our pro-marriage, pro-life, pro-family agenda is to limit the subject matter jurisdiction of the courts. At the federal level, with what are called Article III courts, Article III of the United States Constitution, we can limit the subject matter that justices can rule on. We have it within our authority to decide what judges can rule on and what they can't.
I love that Think Progress catches this stuff on video. Of course, her statements are not entirely true. They can only limit the appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, for example. But those distinctions are lost on Bachmann. Our tradition of separate powers for three different branches of government? Who needs it? She then went on to say, quote, anytime the people speak, they say with one voice that marriage is one man, one woman. The only way that they say that with one voice is if you discount most of the voices in the country. A recent poll found that 53% of Americans think same-sex marriage should be legal. Only 44% think that it should remain illegal. Another poll found that when you include same-sex marriage and civil unions, 70% are in favor, and only 25% thinks that gay couples should have no opportunity for any legal recognition. But the group Michele Bachmann was speaking to in Iowa isn't just against gay marriage. The leader of the group has said homosexuality is a public health hazard. Think Progress asked Bachmann if she agreed.
Congresswoman, some groups, including this one, I believe, have argued that homosexuality is a public health crisis akin to secondhand smoking. I was wondering if you agreed with that.
I don't have an answer on that. I don't have an answer.
Okay.
Why don't I have another question?
What is this, a game show? Alex, I don't quite have the answer for that. Can I use a lifeline? Can I call a friend? No? Okay, I'd like another question. Wasn't that hard a question? All right, Michele Bachmann is also part of the movement against funding Planned Parenthood, of course, and she made sure to demonize them at that same event in Iowa.
Do you know that Planned Parenthood is a $1 billion a year entity? They call themselves nonprofit, but at the same time, the executive director of Planned Parenthood in Illinois said they want to become the LensCrafter of big abortion in Illinois.
You're going to be really shocked to find out that actually no one from Planned Parenthood actually said that. What the CEO of Planned Parenthood did say 3 years ago was, quote, I like to think of Planned Parenthood as the LensCrafters of family planning, not big abortion, family planning, which of course encompasses a wide range of health services. But for Republicans like Michele Bachmann, family planning is synonymous with abortion. Of course, all of this is nothing new for the Tea Party darling. Her political resume is peppered with bizarre and outrageous actions and statements going back to when she was a Minnesota state senator. In 2005, she was caught crouching behind a bush, spying on a gay rights rally that was protesting her proposed state constitutional amendment outlawing same-sex marriage. Her excuse for hiding in the bushes? I had high heels on and I just couldn't stand anymore. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now another 2005 run-in with the LGBT community was even more dramatic. After a meeting with her constituents where she was challenged on her anti-gay policies, she filed a report with the local sheriff against two women she, quote, believed to be part of the LGBT community or group, accusing them of holding her in the ladies' room against her will. Bachmann said in the report she had never been that terrorized before. Lesbians! The complaint was dismissed, and shockingly, her claims of being held hostage by lesbians never made it to trial. But Bachmann has cover for her weird behavior. She claims it was God's will that she become a state senator and then a congresswoman. God seems very concerned about her, and if he chose her as his representative in Washington, it was a curious choice indeed. And once Bachmann got to the nation's capital, her wacky ways just picked up steam. Here's just a sample.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
The very founders that wrote those documents worked tirelessly until slavery was no more.
Obamacare, as we know, is the crown jewel of socialism. I am just not comfortable with the way this census is being handled.
There isn't even one study that can be produced that shows that carbon dioxide is a harmful gas.
Not all cultures are equal. Not all values are equal.
That's great stuff. With that, consider yourself prepared for Bachmann 2012. And that concludes our first edition of Meet Your Potential Candidate.